I thought long and hard about whether to post this evening. Because I don't want to be as bad as the person that's made me make the post. Not made me make the post, driven me to make the post. I don't want to be seen as petty and childish and as if this is retaliation. But I think there's an important story to be told from something that I experienced today. So as you all probably are aware, I've been internet dating. I've been quite vocal about it, and I think it's important that I'm vocal about it. As someone with Parkinson's, it's definitely a difficult minefield, but an exciting one, and something that people should really try and not feel afraid to try if they have a long-term health condition. And I've been very honest and vocal about that because I wanted to help other people who are in the same situation. I was on sort of a major dating website where I'd actually thought long and hard about what I was going to put in my statement on there. I'd been on the site before and had problems with people being fake, false kind of catfish, setting up profiles. I actually had problems with one guy who was the same person who was setting up multiple profiles just to kind of shout abuse at me, but I thought, it'll be better this time. If I go back, it'll be better and he won't be there. And he wasn't there, but there was other people there. And I thought, I'll be honest this time. I'll be as honest as I can possibly be. I'll open my heart. I will explain my situation and what I'm looking for. And people were responding really well to it. People were being really kind, saying really lovely things. And I was talking to one guy who worked and lived quite near where I worked. So I swapped numbers with him and said we'd go for a drink on Thursday. And I thought, it's a public place, it's harmless, it's sensible, I'm being sensible. And then I remembered that I was supposed to go for a drink with my friend who's running a marathon, for a half marathon for me this weekend. And I thought, no, she comes first. Definitely she comes first. Always hoes before bros. So I sent him a message and apologised and said, I'm really sorry, I'm not going to be able to come on Thursday, and I'm actually going to my parents next week for the week, but when I come back, let's maybe do something. But I wasn't really that keen. I just kind of felt like I should say something like that because I'd agreed to meet him. But I wasn't really that fussed, to be honest, if we're being completely honest here. So maybe I didn't handle it as delicately as I should have done. And he replied with, fine, yeah, not a problem, don't worry about it, we all get busy sometimes. We'll organise something when you get back. And I thought, great, he's a grown-up, he understands. And then I was travelling home in my taxi to get back home, and messages started flooding into my WhatsApp, basically saying, delete me, block me, you don't have actually planned to meet me, so it's fine, don't worry, just delete me. And I said, okay, fine, if that's the way you feel about it, I can delete you, I can block you, that's fine. So I did. And then he pops up in my messages, because he's told me to block me, but he's obviously not finished saying what he wants to say. And suddenly these messages started to appear. And I'm not okay with stuff like this, because I am strong enough to cope with it. I know that I can cope with it. I know that I'm not ugly. I know that my neck is fixable, and if it's not, screw him, who does it matter? I'm not going to be feeling sorry for myself. I know I'm not boring. I'm far from boring. But if this had got into the hands of someone who actually didn't feel those things about themselves, this could have done some lasting damage. This person, basically, will seem like a genuine, nice, kind person when spurned, attacked. And I think we don't realise as vulnerable people, as women, but as vulnerable people with a condition, that actually we are opening ourselves up to potential attack from people verbally sometimes. And we shouldn't be always on the defensive, because then that's no kind of life to live. But I'm putting this out really because men, I don't think you realise, and it's not just men, but men, I don't think you realise the power you wield over women sometimes. Physically, obviously. But emotionally, we still expect you to be caring. We still expect you to be kind. We still expect all these things. We expect you to be gentleman, even though we know times have changed. We kind of hope it. We hope it's there somewhere. And then when you let us down, it hurts even more because we've expected you to be a certain way. And actually, you are doing damage to mankind. People like this are doing damage to men. Because not all men are like this, and I'm proud to say I know some fantastic men in my life that are not like this. They're not bad people. And I'm sure this guy isn't a bad person, but he hasn't thought about what he said when he said it. And it's because he's hidden behind a computer screen, behind a phone screen. He actually doesn't have to ever tell this to me to my face. And I think that's the point I'm trying to make, is when you say these things to people, men or women, think about what it would be like to say that to someone's face. How it's going to land. You know, I'm a strong person. I'm someone that can handle this stuff. Knows that it's not true. But actually, if this had fallen on someone weaker, if this had been something they'd read and decided that they weren't actually going to be able to carry on anymore, how would you feel if you'd done that to someone? So maybe strong words, and maybe it's too late at night to be making blog posts like this, but I just wanted to share it because I think there are so many good people in the world, and I'm not saying this guy wasn't a good person. He made a mistake. But just think about what you say when you say things to people through a screen, because it lands in the hands of someone and you don't know how they can take it. I'm a resilient and strong person, but I might not have been a resilient and strong person. Those words could have been the words that took me way down. Situations like this just fuel me to educate people more, so that they understand what we're going through and what we're dealing with. But actually, it could not have done that. It could have so easily not gone that way. So my blog post tonight is about thinking about the way you communicate with people. When you communicate through a screen, could you say it to someone's face if they were directly in front of you? And if you couldn't, then don't send it. Never send it.